Salutations fam, this is Dark Slayer Reem from How Tessia Gaming, and in today's video I've got another deck profile for you. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments on previous videos. A lot of people want to update to the Chaos Dragoonity deck profile. I'll probably be uploading that soon. A lot of people have been commenting on the Blue Eyes deck profile. Um, and yeah, it's been like a month, but the way I function when I do my deck profiles is I don't like to just like upload deck profiles every week. Because a lot of times like people do that and like there will be a lot of inherent issues with the deck profile because they went through like the theory phase but they didn't try to like apply it. I like to actually take my deck profile to an event and see how it performs and like actually like iron out the like strengths and weaknesses and all that before I just like upload the deck profile. So without further ado, I've got myself a top 8 Blue Eyes deck profile for you. But yeah, we're gonna hop right into it, and yeah, we're going to come on, be still, be still, my old paper map from 2013. We got one copy of Sage with Eyes of, well, not blah, 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 blah. What? What? No, not one copy. 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue, 1 copy of Maiden, and 1 copy of Master. Yeah, Sage, your Searcher. Maiden is part of your combo. Master is your recovery. Then we got the 1 copy of the White Stone of a Legend, and then 2 copies of the White Stone of Ancients. This card is probably one of the less impactful stones, but you do want it sometimes because you can use it to facilitate certain combo routes. 1 copy of Keeper of the Shrine. This card right here, oh my gosh, is this card insane in this deck. So one of the gimmicks about this deck is that basically you just kind of keep summoning Blue Eyes until they can't deal with it anymore. That's typically how you win in this deck. So basically, you're typically going to have a 3k body that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Sometimes you'll have Return Dragon Lords Engraved, right? In order to out a monster that has, high stats and that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, a lot of decks will have to like, go through a lot of resources to be able to deal with something like that, right? So let's say they do that. They, make a big monster. They, link 4 monsters. They make Axis Code, right? They go battle phase. I'll attack over it. You banish Return of the Dragon Lords. Okay, well, I'll attack again, attack over it again. They finally get rid of the monster. And then, after they've gone through all of those resources trying to out that one monster, then Keeper just triggers, and it just specials itself from hand or grave and just adds back the monster so you can summon it again next turn and do it all over again. So what Keeper's effect works, right, is if a dragon on the board, so either side of the field, is sent to the graveyard by a card effect or because it was destroyed by battle, you can special this card from hand or grave, and if the monster destroyed was a normal monster, you can add 1 dragon normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, oh, and it also counts as 2 tributes. So if they attack over a Blue Eyes, they kill the Blue Eyes, this specials and then adds back the Blue Eyes, and then you can just summon the Blue Eyes again next turn. Also, interactions with this, right, is you can do things like, let's say I have a Blue Eyes on board and I go Polymerization and summon a alternative Ultimate Dragon, Twin Burst, whatever. That also triggers Keeper because the Blue Eyes is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, and then Keeper will summon and add back the Blue Eyes again. So it's like you have a lot of like neat interactions with this card. This card really helps you out in the grinding and whatnot. And then 1 copy of Cosmo Brain. This card helps unclog your hand to give you access to the level 8 Synchro Pool, and it can summon normal monsters from the deck. So sometimes you can do some really weird things like summon Driver and go into like Black. It's so silly. But you're only playing 1 because you can search it. And we play the 1 copy of White Dragon Wyvern Burster, the 1 copy of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. These are just here to like help facilitate things, just help extend your plays a bit further. Then we have 1 copy of Chaos Creator and 1 copy of Chaos Emperor. These are the answer to the inherent weakness of the Blue Eye strategy. It's very, very resilient and recursive, but if your stuff gets banished, that's when your resource loop starts getting cut off. So these cards are here to like get that back in rotation because this can, this can special three banish, like special a banished monster, then shuffle the other two back into the deck, and then this can add back a banished dragon. So it's like you get to just kind of like loop your resources and just like continue playing, and these also happen to be level 8, so you can use them for your synchro plays and your rank 8 plays. And moving on, we have one copy of Dragon Spirit of White, one copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. This card is why this deck is so much stronger now. You can use it to go, basically because of this dragon existing. Now, instead of just going neutral in a lot of your exchanges, you are plussing. And it's Dragon Shrine, instead of being like a 0 in card advantage, it's now a +2. Sage Mausoleum, instead of being like a +1 or +2 in card advantage, now it's like a +6 or something like that, right? So it's like this card just raises the ceiling on the Blue Eyes cards. And then lastly, we've got the 3 Blue Eyes, 1 copy of Alternative, and 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Basically, we're not playing 3 of the vanilla because this is the 3rd Blue Eyes. You don't need to play 3 of the vanilla. Yeah, you still have access to Alternative Ultimate. You still have access to Twin Burst. You still have access to everything. This just makes it so you're less likely to open a hand of, 5 normal monsters. That happened to me, by the way. Would you like to know the chance of that happening? If you play 5 normal monsters in a 40 card deck or something like, it's something like 0.00017, like it's some ridiculous number like that. It's very, very unlikely. And I opened it, and yes, I lost that game. Whatever. Anyway, last of the monsters, we got the 1 driver to enable the 3 Cyframe Gear Gamma. This is basically to punish people for hand trapping you, and people are going to hand trap you. They're gonna hand trap you if they have hand traps because it's Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, you get ash once and then you pass, right? Don't tell them that that's not actually true, but people are going to hand trap you a lot, and you want to punish them for it. Right? So if they ash your Dragon Shrine, they ash your Foolish Barrow, you gamma them, and you just punish them really hard for it. But yeah, moving on to the spells, we got 3 copies of Mausoleum of White. This is your field spell. I'm not playing the Terraform, even though like this card is like really impactful in the deck. It's not able to do anything by itself, and you aren't able to utilize multiple copies of it. Because it's like, sure, if it's in the grave, you can banish and search Burst Room of Destruction, but like, that would require you to play Burst Room of Destruction, and we're not doing that. Anyway, moving on, we have Dragon Shrine, 3 copies of it. We want as many 1-card starters in our deck as possible, so we're playing Foolish Burial as well. This is another 1-card starter, 1 for 1, another 1-card starter. You want as many of these as possible. 3 copies of Chaos Space. This basically takes the place of a lot of the standard stuff you play in Blue Eyes, because this is both a searcher and a draw spell. So you don't need to play Cards Consonants, Trade In, Melody, Bingo. Like, you don't need to play all that. You can play it all, but I prefer to just play the Chaos Space because, it also synergizes with the Chaos Engine, which, gives you that, helps you not have to deal with that banishing weakness. This searches Alternative, it searches Chaos, it searches the Chaos Monster, searches Cosmo Brain, and you can just it helps you recycle back your resources. You can put back your banished extra deck monsters and make them again. You can put back stuff. It's a really good card. And then we have the 1 copy of Polymerization. This is what you search off the Abyss Dragon. I'm not playing the Chaos form and the Ritual monsters because, so the logic behind it, right, is 1, I'm trying to play 40 cards. I'm trying to stick to 40 cards. I'm not trying to go over 40 cards. With Chaos Form, if I draw that card and they stop Abyss Dragon, Chaos Form doesn't do anything. It does not do anything unless I have the Ritual monsters. Polymerization, on the other hand, does. Because even if they stop Abyss Dragon, I can still just poly for a Twin Burst. I can still just poly for Alternative Ultimate if I have it already. It'll be a bit harder to get to it, but I can still use this. This card, if I open a hand of a bunch of Blue Eyes, I can still just poly away the Blue Eyes and still get, plays. So it's like this card is just less likely to be dead, but it still enables you to get those extra pluses off of Abyss Dragon. And then we have the 1 copy of Instant Fusion because we don't want to get hand trapped, We summon Millennium Eyes. Millennium Eyes helps me play through hand traps, but it's also a level 1, so it has synergy with Link Karibo. Basically, If they do have the hand traps, it protects you. If they don't have the hand trap, it's just another extender. And then we have the one called by to be able to, banish those hand traps, stop those plays. And, if they do have the hand trap, it protects you. If they don't have the hand trap, it's an extra disruption. And then lastly, we have 2 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords and the 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Why not 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lord? Because Monster Reborn is just a better card overall. But that's going to be it for the main deck. We're going to move on to the extra deck now. We've got our boy. We've got Link Karibo. This is an incredibly important card in Blue Eyes. It's not just that it links away your stones. It's that it can keep summoning itself from the grave over and over again, and this interaction allows you to, like, dodge effects. So, like, let's say, follow-up turn, Link Karibo's in grave. I normal Sage, they go effect Veiler, right? They Veiler the Sage. I can chain Link Karibo to dodge the effect Veiler. My Sage will still go through. Link Karibo gets summoned. This is, I actually won a game like that once, because, like, he ran out of resource. I normal Sage. He tried to, like, stop it, and then I just Link Karibo chained. The 1 copy of Striker Dragon. This is literally just here because it is a Link 1 Dragon. That is the only reason. It is here so that you can link off the baby dragons. That is the only reason that it's here. So you can make a Hieratic Seal and have, that play. This, is just a really, really powerful dragon card. The 1 copy of Kriston Hockey Fibraxis raises the ceiling of your decks tremendously. It allows you to be able to, so basically, right, what you'll typically do is you'll use this to get access, just summon your stones directly from the deck. You don't care if their effects negated because they trigger in the graveyard anyway. Another interaction here is that you can summon Master from the deck, link it off for Link Karibo, and then trigger the Master in grave to shuffle Master back into the deck, and then send the Link Karibo into the grave to special a Blue Eyes from the grave. So it's like, it's also like, it gives you access to your, like, your main engine, but it's also like recovery play if you need it as well. Then we have our rank 8s. We got the number 38, Dragon Spell Negate, Attack Redirection. The best rank 8 in the game, Dingirsu. Send, protection, triggers on summon. So if I reborn it back, it sends again. Synchros, we got the 1 Crocodragon. We got the Ravenous Crocodragon. So one of the things about this deck that I like is that, so going second against, like, Prank Kids, because, they play the main deck like there can be only one, you can actually play through that board. So, like, let's say we were doing, like, the Sage Mausoleum combo, right? I go normal Sage, Search Maiden, activate Mausoleum, extra normal Maiden, and then they flip up there can be only one. I send the Sage to the graveyard, right? I'll send the Sage to the graveyard. I'll activate the Mausoleum, targeting the Maiden, special of Blue Eyes, synchro off for this, which is a fish, and then I just pop the There Can Be Only One I can keep playing, right? And then, like, like Link Karibo is a Cyberse. Like, basically, a lot of your stuff is just different types. So it's like you're able to play through There Can Be Only One fairly easily. A lot of people make the mistake that, like, if you stop me from accessing dragons, you just shut down the deck. That's not actually how it works. Like, I have so many different types. I got spellcasters. I got a bunch of different types in the extra deck. Like, Halki Fibrax is a machine. Like, there's so many different, like, types in the deck. So it's like, I'm able to just play through stuff. Speaking of machines, we got Formula Synchron. This is here. You summon this off Halki Fibrax, you get a free draw. Best Synchro. Like, just, this card is insane. Chaos Ruler, Excavate 5, summon it from the grave, use it for Synchros, use it for rank 8s, set up your graveyard, add stuff to your hand. This card's nuts. Black Rose Moonlight, you tag into this from Spirit Dragon. You bounce a card. Just extra disruption, really good. You can use this with Formula Synchron. You make the Crocodragon, you get another disruption, you draw another card. Speaking of Crocodragon, another thing I wanted to point out. So you can do that same thing where you play through There Can Be Only One with Vermilion Dragon Mech. I'm playing Crocodragon because I feel it's just a better card overall because it gives you that extra draw and its effective pop is a quick effect. But yeah, Azure Silver Dragon. Protect your board. Protect you, recur your resources, summon your dragons, and just keep going. Spirit Dragon, the Graveyard Negate, Floodgate. Like, this is just a really, really strong card in general. You can tag out, go into Azure Eyes, go into Black Rose Moonlight, but yeah, really good card. Twin Burst, outs all of the problematic boss monsters. You just attack into them, banish them, GG's. Then we're moving on into the alternative ultimate. This is the strongest boss monster in your extra deck. You slap this on the board, you usually win the game. Typically, if you pump this up with Abyss Dragon, a lot of times decks just cannot deal with it. Because 5,500, so that's too big for Access Code to beat over usually, because Access Code would usually be 53, so they can't beat over it. Can't be target destroyed by card effects, so they can't pop it. It doesn't have any summon restrictions, so if they do out it, you can just summon it back. It's so silly. And then lastly, we have the Millennium Eye Strix as the instant fusion target. That is it for the extra deck. Yeah. Moving on to the side deck, we have... Oh, no, come back. We have, you know, the staple side deck card. We have Dino Wrestler Pancratops, 2 copies of Nib, 2 Kaijus, 2 Lancia, 2 Droll. My side deck is very, very, very standardized. I don't have, like, stuff specifically for a matchup. Like, a specific deck, right, is usually my side deck is just, what kind of deck are you playing? I side this based on what type of deck you're playing. 2 copies of Twin Twisters, 1 Feather Duster, and 3 copies of Evenly Matched. That is it for the deck profile. Now I'm just going to kind of showcase the Sage Mausoleum combo again, because I have gotten a lot of comments asking about it. So Sage Mausoleum. Right. So yeah, we're going to start things off. Normal Sage with Eyes of Blue. Activate the effect. Search Maiden. Right? Extra activate Mausoleum of White, extra normal Maiden, Mausoleum target Maiden, chain Maiden. You're gonna send the Psyframe Driver to the grave off of the Mausoleum of White effect, because this just has to summon a normal monster. It doesn't have to be a Blue Eyes. And then we're gonna special a Blue Eyes from the deck off of Maiden's effect. We're gonna link these 2 off, right? And we're gonna make Halki Fibrax. We're going to trigger Halki Fibrax. We're going to summon a Stone of Ancients from the deck. Where are you at? Stone of Ancients. Special Stone of Ancients. We're going to synchro off this Blue Eyes and the Stone of Ancients for a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Then we're going to trigger the Stone of Ancients in the end phase, and we're going to special the Abyss Dragon from the deck. We got Abyss Dragon. We're going to trigger the Abyss Dragon. We get Poly. We're going to pick up an alternative. You can search the Chaos Emperor here if you like already have alternative, but typically I want to search alternative. Where's alternative? There we go. Get alternative. Right? During your opponent's turn, they take their first action. You're going to banish the Crystron Halki Fibrax. You're going to tally out for your Formula Synchron. You're going to draw a card. Right? You're going to draw a card. Just random card. Draw a card. This is your hand right now. So you're going to draw a random card. Right? Your opponent activates something in the grave, negate with Spirit Dragon. You know, they summon a monster, you know, they're like, okay, the negates are all gone, let's just play through. Summon the Access Code, you go on res, chain Spirit Dragon. Summon Black Rose Moonlight, you bounce back to the extra deck. Right? And then you go Formula Effect, Synchro during their turn, you make Crocodragon. Make Crocodragon, you draw another random card. Right? Then from there, you know, you have a pop, 2 cards you just drew, the pop is live. So let's just kind of dump these and pop a card. Opponent passes, back to you, draw another card. Okay? Now, this is what you have just from the resource. This isn't factoring in like your extra cards in hand. So this will be a lot bigger than 25 here. This will usually be like 4 or 5K. Okay? But let's, you know, we're not going to assume the other cards in here. We're literally just going to play off the resources generated from the Sage Mausoleum. Okay? We're going to banish this Stone of Ancients. We're going to add back the Blue Eyes White Dragon to our hand. We're going to reveal that Blue Eyes special alternative effect, pop a card. Right. We have the Crocodragon. So we can ditch 2 other cards, but potentially pop another card. We have the Blue Eyes and the alternative. We can poly, we can bring out Twin Burst. Twin Burst starts swinging over stuff. We can then make like a rank 8, and Dingirsu Descend, And so it's like, this is like the follow-up that you have, and that's literally only using cards that were generated off of the effect of Sage with Eyes of Blue and the Mausoleum. Literally just the Sage Mausoleum got you all of this. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the deck, how it works, all that other stuff. There's definitely like, it's not just that, because I didn't really go over like the chaos stuff as well. But yeah, the chaos stuff is definitely a lot more free flowish. You know, there's not like a standard chaos combo line. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. This has been Darkslayer Reem from Haltesia Gaming. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. This thing never works. Come on. Come on.